Yeah, what it does, what it do, and what are we doing? You already know what it is. You know, it's called a tangent line. So no matter what I'm saying, you might as well call it a tangent, even if everything seems to appear as a straight line of knowledge, information, or whatever. It's really not, because no matter what I'm saying, it connects to something else that disrupt or discontinue the straight line and make it curved. But we'll come back to that line, which is why I call it the tangent line. And I don't know, do I look at the screen or do I look at the camera? Most folks that I've watched on videos, they watch the screen. They don't watch the camera like they making direct eye contact. But it's things that I see that I do not want to say. And one of the many things that it makes me think about is the Gospel of Thomas. You know, Thomas the doubter from the Bible. But the Gospel of Thomas. Now I'm thinking about it. It's like, was Thomas a healthy skeptic, and everyone else went on blind faith or something? But anyway, I'm trying to figure out a way to put it. In the Gospel of Thomas, Thomas was pulled aside by Jesus, as the scripture says, as the text says. Thomas was pulled aside by Jesus. Jesus told him something, and we left away from Jesus. He came across some people, and they asked him, "What did Jesus tell you?" And he said, "If I told you, these stones will turn into fire and devour you." The kind of stuff I see, that's what I see, stuff that would make me think of that. And so I can't say it, or I don't want to say it because of that. Because some of that is good. The roots is bad, but not all of those take hold of their roots. It's kind of like people you know, kind kind of like people you know who you would have thought they're not worth anything, they're not good people, they don't help nobody, or anything like this. If you were to do something that they will find transgressive, they wouldn't even trip. Or they wouldn't hold it against you and still treat you the same way as if they did as that moment when they didn't trip on you. You know, in a good way or whatnot. And it's kind of like, no matter what you say or how you say it, if you were to speak what Jesus told to you, those people would stone you too. And those stones would turn to fire and devour them. Or whatever they did to you will come back to them, simply speaking. The deepest faith that I realize, that I've known, that I understand, is a faith that you don't understand, that you can't realize, and you never know. Because that which you know, you can say that is that which you perceive thoroughly, all the way through, sieve. Let's just say to capture, long story short. So you captured it thoroughly with your mind, but you don't. Because what it is not is something beyond the mind and can't be caught by the mind. The mind can only catch a shadow of it, which is why most people go off what they're told and nothing beyond that, because they're going off the shadow of what this really is. The shadows they're going off is the things that were made to reach people in the dark. Everybody gonna know about God, no matter who it is. Everybody. Now, they may not know in the manner that you and me know. I think we should keep that recorded. We should keep that on video. But anyway, they might not know the way that you and me know, but they know. They know something that will be equivalent to you in your concept of God. But that still doesn't stop you from forgiving others as you forgive yourself, or treating others as you would have yourself treated. It doesn't stop it. It doesn't matter if someone appears as deserving of something or not deserving of something. What about how you appear? Don't you appear as deserving? If you appear as deserving, but you yet not have the habit of doing good, saying good, thinking good at all times, at least at all times that it is possible, then you ain't got it. If you thinking good, saying good, thinking good, saying good, and hearing good alone by itself, then you got it. Or you getting something. We're all getting something, but those who are pure. We all see our reflections in the mirror, but most people see a mirror with dust on it, and it don't show everything clearly, while there are few who have no dust on their mirrors and they're able to see their reflection clearly. It would be kind of like that. If you ain't saying things without, Jesus said, all the commandments hang on these two things: to love others as you will love yourself, and to love God with all your heart. Okay, the loving God with all your heart is one thing, but if you don't love others as you love yourself, you ain't seeing God at all. If you love others as you would love yourself, then you see God, no matter what. Period. We in the flesh. The flesh is sin. No one has been without sin because they're in the flesh. You and your sin. No one cast the first stone without sin. So you're going to cast the stone on yourself first. And then cast the stone on others. But once you cast the stone on yourself, there are no more stones to throw. Or you don't see why you should be casting stones on anyone, when the cast that you're stoning on them would be the same stones that you would cast on yourself. And when you cast them on yourself, you have no stones to throw. All the stones you threw at yourself are the same stones that you were throwing at others. So, when you see yourself, it's only one self. That's the same self in other people. When you are there, and you know what I'm talking about, if you are there, but it's like, man, I can't do nothing but good. No matter what you do in the flesh, you can't help but to automatically think, or to think without knowing it, that I do nothing but good. If you're thinking that, you already see God. You're beyond the point of seeing God. Somebody may take that to think, oh, I see God now. No, you seen God way before that. You seen God, you seen what life is, what this is, whatever you want to call it, way before that moment, way before those thoughts. We'll separate any thought from another thought, by the way. But anyway, you seen that way before then. That is just a symptom of what you've already seen. When you know different, you do different. When other people know different, they do different. Think about the penultimate compassion, and what that means, what that entails. When you know different, you do different. I have a hard time talking about anything outside of the love of God, because love and God is the same thing. Love and God is the same thing. The love of God is God. It's not that there's the love of God, like there's something else and then there's God. No, there's God. Like God is a body, and there's all of God's body parts. One of them being the love of God. Everything else being the rest of the body parts. And I mean every single thing else. Every person, every limb and toe, every tree and bug. I keep licking my lip because they dry. They dried in the mud. I be hitting them little electrolyte packs, and I think a particular brand I'm buying might not be it. It's called Liquid IV. It sure do have my mouth dry like a mug, because this is like my third day, I guess, of partaking it, and it's like I won't be buying that brand anymore.